What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this video, and in today's video we'll be playing some Planet Crafter. So if you guys have never heard of this game, it's a survival game based in space that you can play by yourself or with 10 players. And basically you load into this planet and it's pretty barren. There's nothing on there, just raw materials everywhere, and you have to survive and make a shelter and basically just survive. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here we're going to create a new save file, a new world basically. So we're going to leave the planet as the original. They added a new one with a DLC, but we're not going to be playing that right now. Maybe in a future video. We're going to leave everything standard. All the modifiers are the same, they're default. So let's get right into it. Okay, here we go.
Emergency. Correct your trajectory. Imminent impact. Imminent impact.
Alright, so here we are. Brand new world. So I believe you can spawn at random places throughout the map, but generally in the same area. So as you can see in the bottom left, we have an oxygen counter. So once we're out and about, the oxygen counter starts going down, and when you go back in your little hub, these vents give you oxygen back, and then you have water, and I believe the health is basically food. So our first steps are to craft a backpack. So let me see, let's get some ice. I believe ice, you can use it to make water. Iron is pretty important. Let's grab some of that. And I believe you go, so this is our chest. We have some stuff ready to start us with. Let's see. So they want us to craft a T1 backpack, so there we go, we have enough for that. Some iron, okay. I believe that just gets crafted here. Yep, now we have to equip it, I believe. There we go. So this is our slots that we have right now. Craft a T1 oxygen tank and equip it. So oxygen tank, we need some cobalt, iron, and magnesium. Yep, so let's grab some of that. We need 2 of those. Okay, and I think we needed iron. I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay, so yep, good to go. Crafted that. Now let's equip that. Alright, next we have to craft a construction microchip. So, construction microchip. Alright. Alright. What did I see? Another some right here. Saw another one. Right here, okay. Alright, so now let's craft that. And I believe that you equip that the same way, and that helps with your gadget that you have right now, and I think you can switch it. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm in construction mode, and this is just the pickup mode. So we have to craft a living compartment. I believe you do that with Q, yes. Okay, so living compartment, we need some iron and titanium. And then we have to craft the door as well, which you need iron, titanium, and silicone. So we need 3 iron, 2 titanium, and a silicone. So this is titanium, iron, titanium, some more iron, 1 silicone, and I believe we needed 1 more iron. So right here. Alright, so one thing I know is that eventually as we progress, this area will become flooded out as we start getting rain on the planet. So we don't want to build down here in these craters. We want to build a little higher up. So I don't know if I want to build next to that because it's hard to expand. Maybe thinking over there. So let's grab some oxygen, and then let's make a run. And so you can find randomly scattered throughout the map these crates. There's blue ones that are regular ones, and then there's gold ones that are rare loot. You generally don't want to open them right away. You want to wait till you're kind of further progress into the game, because you're going to get better loot out of it. Rather than if you open it now, you're going to get more starter loot, which is not ideal, especially since those crates don't reset, I don't believe. So you want to usually wait a little bit. Okay, this looks pretty good, an area, so let's build our living compartment. Try to get it on some flat ground. and then we have to build a door so we can get into it. And there we go. Now we have our little hub for now. And let's see, so we can start crafting some drills and wind turbines and heaters. So that's kind of your main resources on the planet, which we'll get to in a minute. So before we do that, I kind of want to craft a chest so that we can kind of transfer everything over. So let me open that. We're going to put that in there for now. And then let me go back to our hub and get all our starter loot out of there. That way we're good to go. Alright, so back to our little hub now. Let's transfer everything over. Let's actually keep these resources. We need them right now. So let's see. So right now we need to craft a T1 drill. So let's go ahead and do that. We can go ahead and set these up, not necessarily right next to the base, so that we can expand it better. The wind turbine, we need 1 iron. We could do that. So let's kind of stagger these a little bit. And then the heater we can't do yet. Alright, so we have our drill crafted and our wind turbine crafted. So that produces 1.2 energy per second, and this requires 0.5 energy per second. So as you guys can see, we have just enough. We're fine for now. So we're good on power. Now there's a way to track all of this, and it's through this terraformation screen. So you can go ahead and place this inside your capsule, and it'll tell you how much oxygen you're producing, how much heat you're producing, and how much pressure you're producing. And that in turn helps your terraformation index. And by raising that, you raise the stability of your planet. So let's see. We can look at our energy levels. That's how you track how much power you're using. So we can go ahead and craft that. We need iron, silicon, and magnesium, so let's grab that. Okay, so now we have enough to craft this. So let's put that next to this one. I think it's giving me some trouble. A reason why I can't place it on here. Oh, this goes on the floor. Okay, makes more sense. So let's place that underneath our screen here. So as you can see me placing that, we now don't have any more power because this actually requires power to be on. So we're using 1.3 kilowatts of energy and we're only producing 1.20. So we're gonna need another wind turbine. So let's get some iron and make another one. And then as you can see, it says T1 next to them. So these are tier 1s. And then as you level up and get more terraformation index, you can unlock next tiers. So now we have 2 wind turbines and our power should be back on. So let's go back inside. There seems to be a sandstorm coming, which is not ideal. So now we're producing 2.40 and we're only using 1.30. So now we have enough. All our screens are back on. Everything's good. So then, as you can see, the drills. Let me see. The drills produce pressure. The heaters obviously produce heat, and then these tubes produce oxygen. So what you want to do is you want to have one of each, and then eventually more of each, so that you increase your production and essentially reach your higher terraformation index. But for right now, let's go find some iridium. Our oxygen is running low. I probably should have grabbed a thing. But we found some iridium, so let's grab that. We're not gonna make it back, unfortunately, so let's just grab that and try to make it back as far as we can. And this is a great way for me to showcase the mechanic of dying. So yeah, as you can see, the heartbeat starts going. We're gonna black out, and we're dead. Okay, so that was kind of stupid on my part, but it's okay. So whenever you die, you basically just drop a box similar to like what's in there, and all your loot should be in there. I believe you might lose some of it, but for the most part I think it's all in there. You don't lose any of these things, so that's good. Alright, so let's see, how can we craft a tier 2? Okay, I think we need a craft station to craft upgrades, so let's grab that. We need a little bit of iron and silicone, so let's see. So we're gonna craft this. Let's put it, I'm gonna rotate it some. Let's put it right here. Kind of want to leave this wall open so we can expand that way. Let me see. So for the tier 2 oxygen tank, we need 1 more silicone, 1 cobalt, 1 titanium, and 2 magnesium. So 2 magnesium. Let's see, what am I missing? Nothing. Okay, nice. Alright, so now let's... Oh, it just upgrades our current one. Perfect. Alright, so now let's work on our veggie tube and heater. So we need 1 silicone for the heater, and then we need 1 iron, 1 ice, and 1 magnesium for that. So 1 ice. Alright, so we should have everything. So the heater and the veggie tube both go inside of our base. They don't go outside like the drill and the wind turbines. So we're kind of short on room in here. So let's go ahead and expand a little bit. We're going to make another living compartment. So we need 2 more iron and titanium. Okay. So here we go. Now we went ahead and expanded our base. So as you can see, it does a little connection here and just expands it, so you don't have to go out and make another door. It's pretty well thought out. So let's go ahead and make our heater. Let's think ahead here for a second. I think I want to eventually expand to the left a little bit, so let's just kind of left and straight, I guess we'll say. So let's go ahead and put this right here. When we can always destroy these later and place them somewhere else. So for now, it's not that big of a deal. So now these, obviously everything requires energy. So if you hover over it, it'll tell you. So this one needs 1 kilowatt of energy, and this needs 0.35. So our screen's off. We don't have enough power. We need a wind turbine. So let's go ahead and craft a wind turbine. We need 1 iron. So let's go over here, find ourselves an iron. Here we go. Now we got our second wind turbine going, or third wind turbine, I should say. And I believe that that should have brought back our power. Yep. So now, as you can see, our heat is going up. Our oxygen is not, however, because these actually need a seed. So that's what they started us with, a lerma seed. Whoops. So let's go ahead and put that in here. And that should now start producing oxygen. So as you can see, it's producing 0.15. And we are now at 1. So very slow, but eventually as we get better tools and better seeds, etc., and we craft more of them, it'll go up eventually. So now let's go ahead and continue on our challenges that we have. So we have to craft the blueprint screen and the progress. So the blueprint screen needs an iron and a silicone. Alright, so we made it back to the base. Went ahead and stocked up on some items. Let me actually pop one of these foods. We're gonna need some water soon, so I think that's when we use the ice to craft a water bottle. Yep. So now we can use that whenever we need. I think we're okay for now though. So we were doing the blueprint screen, so let's go ahead and place that. It actually goes on the floor as well. Okay, so here's our blueprint screen. So when we go ahead and click on that, we have our 4 indexes. So we have terraformation, oxygen, heat, and pressure. So as you increase these values, you'll begin to unlock blueprints to get better items. So as you can see, once we get to 300 terraformation index, we'll get the tier 2 backpack. Once we get our oxygen up to 1 PPT, right now we're at PPQ, we'll get an indoor ladder. So basically, as you get higher values, you'll unlock better items to help go further along. So let's go ahead and get to our next task, which is the progress screen, which I believe we don't have unlocked yet. So let's actually look for that. Okay, it's right here. So as our heat goes up to 2 NK, we will have the progress screen. So we can't really do that for now. So the only thing we can do is get more heaters, basically more resource gatherers. So let's see. We can get another drill. Let's go ahead and add another drill. I think, yep, we ran out of power, so let me add another turbine. We're gonna add another one and another one. That way, so we're gonna be adding more stuff, that way we don't run out as easily. We just unlocked the tier 2 backpack. Let me drink this water really quick. As you can see, the water bottle gives you basically full, so you don't want to pop that too early. Just make sure you wait till you're almost out. Tier 2 backpack, we need an iron and a titanium. We already have the silicone, so let's go look for that. Alright, so that's in here. Tier 2 backpack, here we go. So now we can hold a little more stuff. So let's go ahead and craft a... The veggie tube is kind of useless right now since we don't have any more seeds, so we can't really produce anything with that. Let's go maybe with the heater. So we're gonna need one more iron and an iridium, so let's try to make this iridium run. This is gonna be sketchy, but it's okay. Grab 2, just that way we can craft 2 heaters. And let's go ahead and go all the way back. Alright, so we made it back. Let's go ahead and craft another heater. Oop, we need an iron, so let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, so now that we have everything, let's make another heater. We'll put it right here in the corner. There we go. And then we're gonna craft this other one and put it next to that. Alright guys, we have our heat crafted, so now that this is crafted, the next thing we can do is to craft a progress screen. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. We need to be at 2.0 NK and we're at 272 PK. So it's going to be a little while. We could craft some more heat tubes and get that going, but there's not much point as we're probably going to be unlocking the tier 2 heater pretty soon. Yeah, so we just need to get our oxygen up, so that's probably going to be the next thing we need to do is go ahead and craft more of these veggie tubes, and we need to find more seeds so that they can work. So I think we're going to tackle that in the next video. So for now, we're going to end it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like always, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.